In 2021, right here and right fucking now, we're in a world where like there's babies that are there. We're in a world where everywhere possibly there's babies that are being born into this world. People are being killed. Something new has been discovered, and we're spreading love to our families and shit like that. And men are busting their first ever nuts in the world. A lot of shit's happening in the world. But what also is happening in the world at this moment right now is that the word vegan is getting a little bit more problematic uh, due to one person, and that one person is that vegan teacher. Now, I'm not saying that she's the only person that is being scornful about the whole about veganism, or she's not just this big giant Thanos behind all of this, but like she's definitely one of the biggest culprits, and there's definitely other vegans around the world that like try to imbue our assholes with like insults about not going vegan and shit, like or insults that we're meat eaters and we're a disgrace and shit like that. First of all, I just want to say that I totally respect veganism. If you refuse to eat or drink anything that comes from any animal, then I totally get that. That's totally your choice if you want to support that shit, and I'm not going to shame you for that. Nobody should be shaming you for that. But I absolutely hate the vegans, like that vegan teacher, for example, that go out of their way to like fucking shove it down our dick holes that we have to become human, or else that or in that vegan teacher's words, we're disgusting, terrible, despicable, and apparently racist. Like apparently racism has is in her Batman utility belt when it comes to fucking sending insults to us meat eaters and shit like that. Her insults don't even hurt anyone's feelings. What would hurt my feelings is if like I was fucking cooking a scallop on Hell's Kitchen, I fucked up, and then Gordon Ramsay told me that I was gonna get fucked in the ass by a donkey if I didn't step up my game. That would definitely fucking insult me. I'd feel fucking terrified. I feel like the fucking boogeyman would come in my room and just fucking pull down my pants that night. But speaking of Gordon Ramsay, she made a song about Gordon Ramsay, and unexpectedly, it was fucking terrible. All of her songs are absolutely atrocious. I'd rather hear a fucking lemon party happening next to me than listening to one of her songs. At least the sound of two old men fucking each other and breaking their hips is more pleasing to my ears than her songs giving me otitis externa, the fucking ear infection in my fucking ears. But the amazing part is about this is that he responded to her and absolutely fucking destroyed her. He dusted her scrawny ass titties and then just straight up annihilated her. What he did was that he was eating lettuce, and then sort of at the end of her little video that she made for him, that little special thing, and he spat out the lettuce and called her a vegan donut and just took a fucking chomp out of that burger. I would have done the same thing, honestly. But yeah, it was fucking amazing that what I saw. She did respond to this terribly. She had a screenshot of him in the background and tried making a point where there's a difference between food and animals, and where we eat something that comes out of the ground or a tree, not something that has feelings. Yes, animals do have feelings, and plants also don't. But you also have to understand that they're also alive like animals. They're called sentient life forms, and they sense water, light, and gravity, which animals can do. They can also defend themselves and spread awareness to other plants that there's danger, or that danger is near, like animals can do and shit like that. Also, if there is any chance that everybody on the planet went vegan, people would obviously, well, go vegan. That's number one. Then people would eventually starve to death, which proves my point because she's scrawny as fuck. Cows would then overpopulate the earth, and then sentient plant beings would then rebel against their human overlords and shit like that. Then she made another video talking about Gordon Ramsay and cows, but proves that she is a fucking dumbest cow in the asshole. She provides a screenshot and tries her best to make it seem like there's something sad. She tries her best to make it emotional and get tears coming out of her eyes. She tried for going for the Nobel Prize for this, but it didn't fucking work. She's trying to make it seem like one of those fucking videos of like the dodo where they find a dog and that's like fucked up looking, and it's sad. It is sad of like that dogs are in that position, but when it comes to cows, no. I gotta be totally honest and shit like that. And then, but what happens in those fucking videos is that the dogs end up being happy and saved. And then we're just gonna be like fucking cupcakes, cum and rainbows everywhere. And it's great, everything's happy. She pretty much says that like cows in the image are taken from like their mothers and then slaughtered into pieces. And then they're also like They also like squeeze their udders for the cow's milk and shit like that. I fucking love milk. It's delicious. You also have to understand that nobody fucking cares about like the cows and all that shit. I mean, people care about cows, but nobody cares about like what fucking happens to them, sort of. I think people care about like erectile torsions more than this fucking shit about how a cow gets chopped up into meat because simply they're fucking food. Also, animals cannot consent, and a lot of animals don't really know the difference between what's right and wrong. Besides dogs, but dogs are also not food; they're pets. But still, they're intelligent creatures. But you have unless you like teach a cow like what's right and wrong. But that's also really hard. It's harder than fucking Mini Lad's cock when he's looking at children, pretty much. Yeah. I mentioned something earlier where she does call meat eaters racists, but I also remember during the Black Lives Matter movement that she received a comment from a guy joking around that said, excuse me, what do you want from KFC? Then she made this response video saying and pointing out that the person has dark skin and then proceeds to compare slavery to animals getting killed, which is a fucked up thing to compare and also is completely irrelevant from the topic. So the dumbass pretty much proved herself as a hypocrite and also a racist. If you ever fucking compare shit like that, like, I always see people like comparing like wearing masks to the Holocaust. Like, how the fuck does a human choice to murder millions have to do with wearing a mask? Like, coronavirus isn't killing or isn't choosing to kill people. It's a virus. It's doing its thing. But how does that have to do with the whole animal slavery thing? It's a dumb thing to compare. Pretty much is what I'm trying to say. So if you ever fucking compare shit to like that, you're a fucking dumbass. I'm just gonna say it. Sorry if you could hear talking in the back. I'm just with my friends and with on Benji and on them and shit like that. But I will say, and I'm gonna say this again, I totally respect veganism, but not when it gets to the point where you're taking it out on others and insulting people and making them feel like bad about themselves because like they eat meat. That shit's unacceptable. And if you're a vegan that does that, you simply just suck. And yeah, so don't do that. That was pretty much my take on this whole vegan teachers thing. I might make another video on her if something comes up. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.